Hi guys, I wanted to tell you a little bit about our trip to Guatemala, show you some photos. It was an amazing experience. We flew into Guatemala City on a Saturday. Dr. Gar gave us a welcome at our opening dinner. The logistics were all arranged by our in-country hosts, Choice Humanitarian. This is Stephen, who's from the US and traveled down with us. As the Choice representative from the US, he was our translator. These were our in-country hosts who do not speak English, but they arranged all the logistics, transportation, lodging, everything. We traveled by bus to the clinic location about 8 hours away from Guatemala City. Most of that time was on this big bus, but we also transferred to two smaller buses because the village where the clinic is too remote and too small for the big bus to get to. So we drove through the countryside, through some beautiful areas, and then we transferred onto these smaller buses to get to the village down a dirt road. The road had washed out a couple of days before we got there, and so here they were repairing it so that we could get to the village. We had a welcome ceremony from the local people with a native dance from the local Mayan people. Most of these people speak Quechua, and so we had to have translators translate from English to Spanish and Spanish to Quechua and vice versa, so that we could communicate. Dr. Gar talked to us about how there's no growth in the comfort zone and no comfort in the growth zone. Here's a little music they played for us to welcome us. So this experience, well, a lot of it was about going outside your comfort zone and focusing on new experiences and what other people experience. We stayed at a hotel about an hour away from the clinic, and so each day we'd get up and have breakfast here and then jump on the bus, drive 30 minutes on pavement on these little buses, two little buses, and then 30 minutes down the dirt road to get to the clinic. We used portable dental equipment with, you can actually see one of the units right here. It has a compressor built into it. There's no, we didn't use suction, and so everything was very different than how we operate in a clinic in the States. Patients sit in these plastic lawn chairs, lean their head back onto a cushion, and we work standing up, kind of bend over. It's a pretty awkward posture, but it gets the job done, and it allows us to work in any setting. This is one of the best clinic settings that I've seen as far as the space available, the equipment available. We actually had electricity. We didn't need to use generators, and we had a flushing toilet, which was amazing. We don't use suction, and so the patients hold a cup and then they spit into the cup as needed. Most of the work we did was extractions and fillings. Some fillings, but mostly extractions, and a few root canals to try and save some front teeth. That's what we were doing for this young woman. All of our lunch was brought in so that it was safe, and we knew we didn't have to worry about getting sick from any of the food. We always drank bottled water. Those that were not providing clinical care could help with the logistics and moving people around, and everyone, it's important to take time to visit with the locals and get out and play and enjoy being together, painting fingernails, jumping rope, things like that. But there's always work to do for anyone, whether you're clinical or non-clinical. Just a delightful opportunity to connect with others and really see a different type of life. Most of these children will never have the opportunity to attend school because they have to work or they have to care for siblings. This is one of the poorest areas in Guatemala. Many of these 10 and 11-year-old girls are carrying around babies that are their own babies. And so it's a huge opportunity for us to experience new privileges that we don't have generally in the United States of America. The privilege of taking a cold shower, the privilege of not having a flushing toilet available, or not having any water or electricity available, or not having running water at all. Those are privileges that we take for granted, and we are reminded how blessed we are. Russell Nelson said, "The joy we feel has little to do with the circumstances of our lives and everything to do with the focus of our lives." So this was a chance for us to really be reminded of what's important in life and make connections with other people. Back here, a couple of clinical things. So Dr. Gar did a lot of the screening. He would write down on the patient's wristband what they need, and then we would get them back and treat as many people as we could. We had 2 police officers with us at all times to make sure that we were safe, because Guatemala is a little bit rough lately, but we never had any danger or anything. It was always safe. And here, my sister Diane, who is not in the dental field, explains how the sterilization process works.
Welcome to the sterilization of instruments. The tools arrive here, bloody and gross, and this is just regular dish soap, and you scrub. Then this tool, once it's scrubbed, can go into the water, rinse. And then we have a set of bleach water, and this soaks for 15 minutes. When that timer rings, these instruments will go into a rinse bowl and wait until this bin is ready. This bin is a 10-minute soak in Hymenol, which is pronounced some other way. Hymen or something else, I don't know. And then transfer to water. And the last step in the process is a 15-minute soak in pure alcohol. And we have this lid on so that it does not evaporate. And then we set the instruments out here on this sterile surface.
So that's how the sterilization works. Definitely not what we expect for normal infection control protocol in the United States, but it works in any environment, and it gets the job done to allow us to go out to these remote and rural settings and provide great care, connect with the people. It is a delightful experience to really remember how blessed we are and how we are all really the same. We're brothers and sisters, and we can love everyone around the world together. After the clinical time, this is a tarantula at somebody's hotel. After the clinical time, we went to Rio Dulce on the coast to enjoy some rest and relaxation for our last day together, and took a boat trip out to the ocean and relaxed. Went to a special swimming hole and some cliff jumping and relaxing on the beach. It was a delightful time to connect with the local Guatemalans, the Mayans, learn about their history and their culture, and have a delightful time with the 30 Americans that came down together. An experience that I recommend for anyone to regain focus in your life and focus on the things that matter most in life. So this was our group, and had a delightful experience, and I recommend it for anyone. Thanks for listening.